Hey Soul Tribe, Tracy here with Sweet Spot e-magazine. Thank you so very much for the likes, the shares, views, subscribes, the comments, the generous donations of all forms, everything. I appreciate it all. We're getting ready to ring this bell. We're getting ready to clear out this energy, and then we're going to see what the message the Spirit has for us. But before I ring the bell, I just want to bring it to everyone's attention. Next week, we are going to be having a 3-day giveaway. Okay, there's going to be 3 different prizes, and the way we're going to do this is sometime during the read, go ahead and put your favorite number in the chat. And at the end of the reading, I'm just going to put my hand in the bowl and pull out a number. And whoever has that number, they get the prize. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and ring this bell. That lasted longer than what I had anticipated. Hey, Robert. Hey, Behaving Goals and Bragsy and Yvette. How are you? Someone spelled backfired. It's like they had learned this spell from somebody who knew black magic, and they did it, and it backfired. See, they thought that it worked because it was supposed to have made everyone shun you. They thought that it worked, but what they didn't realize is you went away because you got tired of this person being immature. You got tired of this person's bullshit. That's why you left. It wasn't because people shunned you. Now, they're sitting there watching you, and they watched you work through all the adversity, everything that they thought that they had brought to you, and they realized something. Because when they finally woke the fuck up and they looked around, they saw that they were the ones that was actually outcast. They found out that everybody was holding back from them. They were on the outside looking in. Whether this was the family, the group, somebody that they associated with is no longer giving them any attention, any play, any love, any conversation, nothing. They're no longer invited to the barbecue. They had to actually sit back and look at themselves and think about who they were actually speaking to, who actually told them, do this. This is going to work. This person, they didn't believe in witches and warlocks before, but they do now. Today, it's very fitting that this would be Easter, because in the eyes of this person, you have risen. Bottom of the deck, 8 of Pentacles. Something that they worked on, they were called out. This is judgment. Whatever they worked on, they thought that it was going to work because it ended up putting an end to your relationship. And like I said, not because whatever it was worked, it was because you just got tired of dealing with their immaturity, their bullshit. This is something that they had worked on for a while now, that they had tried to manifest for a while. And see, what they didn't realize is they had it good with you. What they didn't realize is that you are the whole earth angel. You were there to protect them, to teach them, to guide them, to help them. Now it's like somebody is trying to reach out and communicate with this group that they worked with the same people that they worked with. They keep sending out messages, and they wondering why it ain't working, why nobody's contacting them back. See, they was confused, and now they're realizing that people have walked away from them. See, people walked away from them because nobody wanted to be a part of this, and they didn't realize nobody wanted to be a part of somebody who was sitting here trying to win at all costs, not giving a fuck about nobody else. Hey, Travion, not caring how they impacted somebody else's life. See, this person, they thought that they was being so slick that like somebody couldn't see what they was doing under the moonlight. And they thought that they, was just doing everything all right and everything, like this person, it's like they finding out that they worked alone. They're alone in the way that they felt. They are alone in what they wanted. Hey, High Priestess. All those secrets, all those lies, everything that they thought they was sneaking and doing, it's coming back to bite them. That wheel of fortune is coming back around. And it's going to give them exactly what they thought they was giving you. See, now this person wants to give you some sort of apology. They want to apologize to you, the Empress, for acting in such a manner. Even whenever you told this person, look at how you acting. Look at what the fuck you doing. You even gave this person examples of things in the past that they did that they didn't think that you saw, but you saw. Even after all of that, hey, Malcolm. See, the truth is out. And the truth is that, you know what? You was offering them the perfect opportunity to get their shit together. You saw everything clear. All they had to do was open up their eyes. All they had to do was be honest. And they would have had this wonderful, beautiful opportunity to rise, just like you've risen. You've risen past the bullshit, past the games, past the trickery, past the black magic. Now this person is seeing, how responsible you are, how trustworthy you are, how you love yourself, how you are not afraid to love others. They're seeing the type of person that you are. See, this person didn't want to go and look within themselves because they didn't want to see what everybody else could see. They didn't want to put in the work. They didn't want to invest in themselves. They didn't want to, look at what they need to do to improve. So they didn't. Hey, Tracy. This is why this person is getting justice. This is why this person is locked up. This is why this person is stuck. This is why this person is receiving everything that they wanted you to have, but more. Somebody could have even had to go to court, found out that they had to go to jail, physical jail. They wanted you to be in jail. They wanted you to be the one that's in jail. But it's them now. See, their plans were that they was going to be victorious throughout this. Their plan was that they was going to overpower you. You wasn't going to know what was going on. Hey, Addie, confirmation. You wasn't going to know what was going on. They was going to be so slick that they was going to be able to pull the wool over your eyes, and that you would just spend a life of misery not knowing why you were so miserable. Hate light worker, William. Not knowing what happened, not knowing, why nobody liked you, nobody wanted to be around you, nobody wanted to talk to you. You was just going to be cast out, and the only conclusion that you were supposed to have was because you were some type of shitty ass person. You never been shitty. Their whole plan, their whole idea, blown to smithereens, exploded in their own face. Like I said, now they had to look around and see, wait a minute, who the fuck was I taking advice from? The switch? That's whenever they sat down. Whenever you realize the person that you thought was up here, the person that you thought was going to be okay for you to follow, only for you to find out that you taking advice from a witch who, A, they shit don't ever work. If it did, they wouldn't be where they at. B, they got some black, dark, attached entities that's afflicting and affecting them. And C, the same witch that you took the advice from, ain't nobody trying to be around them. So why would you follow them? Hey, Anthony. See, somebody didn't realize that they was being groomed to be a warlock, but they didn't look at that. They didn't see it. They didn't notice it. Nobody wants to be around a warlock. Nobody wants to be around someone who practices the black arts, that black magic. Nobody wants to be around anyone who is Satan's best warrior. People need to grow the fuck up. They need to wake up. Something about, I feel like God is calling them to the front, because God's got some questions for them that they definitely going to have to answer. Hey, Saida. Whenever you in school and you it's all fun and games because you sitting at the back of the class and you being the class clown and everybody hee ha ha over your old silly ass jokes, and you throwing pencils at the person in front of you, or you spitting the little paper wads or whatever, spitballs, whatever it's called. You taking your eraser and acting like it's a football and flicking it at people and then hitting people in the back of the head. See, somebody was doing that type of ignorant bullshit. Maybe not that, but they was doing some ignorant bullshit until Spirit called them, oh, come to the front of the room. Sit here while I dismiss everybody else. You and I are going to have a little talk. You're going to have to answer some questions. They didn't think that. See, you was probably the person that even told them, hey, before you do anything, think it all the way through. Don't just stop thinking like up to here. Think it all the way through. What if it don't work out like way you think? Then what's going to happen? How could that come back on you? You don't want nobody to be afraid to move forward, but you don't want them to move forward making a stupid plan. Something that's going to hurt them. This person didn't think it all the way through. Like I said, Somebody gonna have to answer the hard questions as to what they was actually the fuck doing. Like spirit want to know, what the fuck was you trying? And you gonna answer me. Now somebody's tongue is tied. Now they don't want to speak. Now they like, it's too late for all that. You done did it. Now it's time for you to man or woman up and say what was on your mind. Yep. Because see, somebody was watching them. They didn't realize that somebody was watching them. Watching how they moved, what they did, and that person did not approve. They didn't approve of that at all. In fact, they turned their nose up at that. They thought that was real shitty. You know, it's like they was asking this person, you know, who's now in their feelings. You know, now because they have to answer some questions, they was asking that person, you know what? You know, asking them, what did you think was going to happen when somebody openly gave you their love, but you know, you didn't appreciate it. Like somebody had to answer some questions about what they even thought love truly is. Is that just something that you can continue to misuse, to abuse, to take for granted, to neglect, to think that you can put somebody up on a shelf and they're gonna come back? What do you think the love really is? Or do you think it's okay for you to try to curse somebody, curse them, for them to be on the outside looking in? Well, they never left you on the outside at all. Someone don't have an answer. They don't have an answer at all. It's like they can't think of what to say to explain what they was doing, why they was trying this, why they thought this shit was funny, what they was trying to happen, what they truly wanted to happen, and how they was really going to feel had it happened. You know, it's one thing to follow somebody down the wrong fucking road, but it's a whole nother thing not to think about what the fuck you doing, just in case that shit happened. You know, imagine yourself being so fucking ignorant, so easily led, so easily misled, such a big ass follower that because somebody else that you shouldn't even be fucking dealing with, somebody else had these old malicious, narcissistic, sociopathic issues, that they wanted somebody else to actually, their life to actually end, and they enlisting your dumb ass. And somebody dumb ass being like, well, okay, I guess I can. And you follow them and you do it. What you think is going to happen? What you think is going to happen? Somebody's asking this person, what the fuck did you think was going to actually happen? See, this person didn't realize that you're a starseed. This person didn't realize that, you know what, at one point they told you that you needed to seek some help. And now that shoe is on the other foot, because they're the ones who actually need to seek the help. This is somebody who is out here looking like a total clown. This is somebody who's out here looking like a straight up fool. This is somebody who's out here looking like a straight up dummy. This is somebody who, them same people, the same person who led them down the wrong path is calling them dumb. Then they're not calling them dumb because they followed them. They're calling them dumb because they got caught. That's when somebody woke up like, well, wait a minute. That's when somebody had to have it explained to them. You was following a fucking sociopath, motherfucker. What the fuck is wrong with you? I just see in my mind's eye somebody who was watching them slap that person upside the head and said, I don't know what the hell you thought that you was doing. They was caught. Archangel Michael saw what they was doing. And they said, okay, you about to witness this shit. You about to experience all this, that what goes around comes around, because you're going to learn a lesson. You're going to learn a lesson about how does it actually feel. They can't move. See, they got to answer to God. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. Somebody is waking up to their own dirty deeds. Because everything that they wish for you, it's happening to them. You know? Look at the example of how you get them is how you lose them. Somebody thinking that they so slick. They messing with somebody else's man or woman. And then they think, oh, yeah, we together now. Somebody even mess up their whole relationship, for this third party. And they with that third party. And the next thing you know, that same third party is sitting here crying like, well, damn, why you do me like that? Well, shit, that's what you did. It was good enough for you to do it, but it ain't good enough for you to experience it. Well, how you get them is how you lose them. What you do unto others will be done unto you. Somebody thought that they was going to put you down in the ground only to find out they the ones that's down in the ground and you have risen. You was protected from all that magic. They didn't know that. They didn't know that. They thought that they thought they was going to do this to you. Well, it was actually done to them. You was rubber. They was glue. It bounced off of you and stuck on them. See, they didn't realize that whatever they had tried to do to you was already being done to them. That's how serious this shit is. Somebody took themselves out. And now here you are with all your spiritual gifts being celebrated by your ancestors, by your angels, by God, and you getting everything that you've ever prayed for, everything that you deserve. Your wishes are being fulfilled. And somebody who was sitting here going around trying to have everybody go against you, spreading lies and falsities and all this other bullshit. Oh, thank you, Jesky. Thank you. All of that, that's all going against them. They don't know what to do. But they ashamed. Hey, Lightworker William. Thank you. They are ashamed. They can't even look at themselves in the mirror. That's how ashamed they are. They can't look at anybody else in their eye. That's how ashamed they are of the bullshit that they thought that they was going to get away with. Like I said, somebody was all up in the middle of your relationship, trying to be a third party, trying to get in where they don't even really fit in. Somebody was adding their 2 cents whenever it wasn't even needed, called for, or asked. But see, you was able to defend yourself. You stuck up for yourself. You know, I feel like somebody else is having a change of heart too. They want to switch sides. This person now want to come over to your side. They don't want to be on that other side because they don't feel like it's safe on that other side. You know, because they're afraid now. They're afraid that that same person that they used to back is going to come and attack them. They feel like it's just a matter of time. You know what? They're right. Now somebody want to come and they want to make nice with you. They want to apologize. They want to say, well, you know, I always believed in you. I always this, I always that. Because they know how strong you are. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually. And they realize that that strength has nothing to do with how big your muscles are. It has to do with your connection with God. And they also know that you're going to hold back. That you're not going to sit here and just jump on the bandwagon because now all of a sudden somebody want to switch sides because they see you winning. Because they see that nothing that somebody else has done has affected you at all. Because they see that, you know what, they should have laid down. They should have sat down as opposed to trying to come up against you. They should have read the room. They should have did their fucking homework. They should have tried to find out, well, wait a minute, that witch, how come you never was able to take collective down? Why was you never able to do this? But you want me to get out there like a fool? Why? So you know how somebody they want to introduce you to somebody that you know you got a single friend and you single and they talking about something. I know the best person for you to meet. I'm gonna introduce you to such and such, and this person is all this, all that, all this, all that, and you like, well, if they all that, why you ain't with them? Oh, well, no, because, you know, they not really my style. It's kind of like one of those types of things. How come you never was able to take collective down? Hey, Hypsee, Grand Rising. How come you was never able to do this? Why was you never able to do that? Ask them. Ask them to explain themselves. Don't just sit there and jump in, jump head first, or both feet in. How you know you jumping into this muddy pool, but when you get in there, you done jumped all the way in without checking shit out, and you like, wait a minute, there's alligators and crocodiles up in here, and piranhas just swarming around. Ask somebody some questions. Like I said, this person now, they feel stupid for sitting here even going against you. Spreading the fucking lie. Spreading the rumor. They feel dumb. And you know what? And whereas now they see, they should have, when somebody tried to get in the middle, they should have said, nah, I'm not even going to do all that. They should have had some loyalty. They should have had some integrity. They should have been honest. They should have had your back. They should have stood 10 toes down with you. This is what they see they should have done from the jump. Because if they would have jumped your way, standing 10 toes down with you, they wouldn't have jumped into the wrong ass fucking pool. Now somebody see clearly that they was clearly trying to curse you. But that curse, that shit backfired. Why the fuck would they even try and curse you? What have you done to them? Nothing. There's nothing they can say that you have ever done. Hey, Earth sign, how are you, sweetie? This is why everybody's turning their back. This is why nobody want to be fucking bothered. Because, you know, had you did something that really was, people was like, oh my God, oh, that's horrible. They would have supported this person. But because you didn't do nothing, and because it's clear and apparent you still getting blessed, that's why everybody's like, I don't even want to deal with this. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. This is why this person is so now stressed. This is why this person is now cursed. Because they tried to curse you. Talk about feeling and acting and looking like a fucking fool. That's how they feel. Foolish. Like they didn't even see it coming. Like they didn't even stop one time to even think about no shit. They was just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this money by tomorrow. Everything is gonna be good. Da 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 da. Well, that's when you don't think it all the way through from the beginning until the end. That's what happens. How many people are sitting in prison right now because whether that's a physical person or a spiritual person, because they didn't think some shit all the way through. They thought about going into the gas station and robbing it at gunpoint, but they didn't think about, or in the hospital or in the morgue. They thought about going into the gas station, you know, after midnight to rob it. But you know what they didn't believe? They didn't think, number one, that there was a police person that was just in there who parked that car on the back of the gas station, who was in there just using the bathroom and getting another refill of coffee. And so whenever they coming out, the policeman coming out the bathroom, seeing somebody with his gun pointed towards his pew-pew pointed towards the cashier, then the policeman pull his pew-pew out and you some under arrest, you dumb motherfucker, or something like that. Or the person behind the counter having their own pew-pew and pew-pewing them. Now they in surgery trying to make it. They praying, dear God, let me just make it through this. Oh my God. They make it through surgery, okay, and actually, you know, now they got to go to court. Now they got to go to prison. Now they're going to be in prison and being violated. See, there's a whole lot of shit that people don't really stop to think about before they do these dumb ass things. This witch didn't think about none of that shit before she tried to get in the middle of this relationship. She just knew that she wanted wasn't hers. She just wanted to be a third party. She just wanted to break somebody up. She just felt like she deserved it. Well, you deserve everything that you're getting. The good, the bad, and the ugly. The karma, the Pandora's boxes, and the shit is coming in waves. And karma said, I'm no longer going to give it to you all at one time. Bloom, for you to work it out and then go on with your rest of your life. No, karma said, I'm going to give you a little bit here. I'm going to let you think that you got over that shit. Then I'm going to take it all away and I'm going to give you some more. And then when you think that you work that shit out, I'm going to take that all away. And then I'm going to give you something a little bit harder and a little bit harder and a little bit harder. So by the time you finally work this debt off, you ain't going to want to touch nobody else's shit. You're not even going to look at a motherfucker. Now somebody's sitting here deep in prayer. Oh, dear Heavenly Father, please let me, just if you can forgive me, if you let me get through this one time, if you let me do this one last time. See, somebody could have just got out of surgery and they deep in prayer, they praying it. Or somebody on their sick bed And they praying. They like, oh, let me hurry up and see if I can go through the dark night of the soul. Because maybe if I can go through the dark night of the soul, God will have some mercy on my soul. God said, I want you to do just that. Go through that dark night of the soul, but you still got to pay this debt. Somebody didn't think about everything that they was doing before they went ahead and had this karma, built up this debt, this karmic debt. They didn't think about everything. They didn't work out all the kinks and everything. That's why this motherfucker got arrested and put in motherfucking jail, because they didn't think about everything. They don't want me to talk about this. Not today. But that's too damn bad. That's too damn bad. Am I still spinning? Or are we back now? See? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. See, they didn't think about all of that. That's to their detriment, not yours. As long as you was doing right by somebody, and you did right by somebody, but as long as you was doing right by somebody, you had nothing to fear. You had nothing to be worried about or ashamed about. You knew you wasn't going to be, your seat was not going to be pulled from the back of the class all the way to the front of the class, and then everybody leave the class and the teacher talking about some. Now I want you to explain to me, before I call the principal and the superintendent, and then they call your parents, explain to me everything that was funny, because I like to laugh. I want to get a good laugh. Go ahead. Let's say it. Let's hear it, because I love to laugh. Go ahead, because I need a good ass motherfucking joke at this moment. Come on with your little funny ass self. What the fuck is so funny? And at that moment, somebody realized, wasn't shit funny. They was just acting goofy as a motherfucker. That wasn't shit funny. They was just acting goofy. But you had to disrupt all of that. Somebody's life, possibly somebody's livelihood, somebody's destiny, somebody's happiness. Somebody had to disrupt all of that just to find the fuck out. Wasn't shit even funny about that. And now, like I said, they praying. What you praying for? See, you wasn't praying when you was doing it. What you praying for now? That you can somehow get a way out of it? Is that what the prayer is? Is that what it is? Because, see, I'm going to let you know what's going to be answered. And that little motherfucking ass, fake ass prayer, that shit ain't going to be answered at all. In fact, Spirit said, I don't even hear you. You should have thought about that before you did it. Yeah. Somebody thinking about the things that they done did in the past. How they should have really looked at something before they took that action. How they should have really thought about what the fuck they was doing before they did it. And now somebody's sitting here looking at you and knowing that you told them the truth. You told this old goofy ass motherfucker what the fuck was going to happen. But see, they didn't believe you, but they believe you now. They believe you now. Them and they goony goo goo motherfucking friends. Because everything that they worked on, who they worked with, everything that they tried, blew the fuck up in their face. Blew up. And where they was trying to hurt you, you had already been through the battle. You was protected. You had already been through the battle and you won. See, that's the thing people don't realize. How you gonna sit here and fuck with somebody who already been through that shit? You don't think that they paid attention the first damn time they went through the shit? You think that they was just gonna be like, well, damn, I don't know how I got through that shit, but oh well, if something else happened, I guess I might pay attention. I might not pay attention. I don't know. I'm not really sure. But no, that's not how the shit happened. That's not how none of this worked. What's the message, Spirit? Now they want to pray. Now they want to ask for forgiveness. Now they want to put the swords down. Now that they're worrying about, hey, how this going to work out for me? That's what they want to know. How this going to work out for me? Not how it worked out for you. What's the message? Anything else from this deck? Anything else from this deck? Let's pull another deck. All they had to do was do right by you. Bottom of the deck. Justice. Karma. Somebody's thinking about the choice that they made, and this is why they're getting karma. Somebody is sitting here thinking about all that shit that they was talking about, everything that they was doing because they was going to win at all costs, that they didn't think about everything. And they was living in a fantasy world. Somebody was talking to them about, sending some type of message about, the chaos that they caused. And like I said, now somebody is praying because of this curse. Now somebody, as far as all this shit that they was talking about your home life, how you were, what type of stability you provided. Now that they can't say nothing because you know what? Everybody sees that you provided. You worked hard. You put in the work. You did this. And like I said, and now they want to come back to you. Now they want to come back to you because they know you speaking the truth. You spitting facts. You spitting facts. Now they want to come back to you. Because like I said, they don't feel protected. And that you protected, they don't feel protected. And that Wheel of Fortune is turning out of their favor. That Wheel of Fortune is not going to help them at all. They done fucked themselves. Now they want to come and they want to work with you. They want to apologize to you. They want to pledge their love for you, because really they want to do that because they want somebody they're afraid that somebody else is not going to accept them, or they want somebody else to see that they have grown up, that now that they are a leader, now that they finally stepped up to the plate and said, you know what? After all this time, after all this karma, after all this calamity that I'm going through, I want to apologize to you. I want to tell you how sorry I am in my heart. That way they can go to somebody else who done told them about their ass and said, and say, see, I'm a leader. I took the initiative. I went and said, hey, Bessie Sue Jean Lynn, I'm sorry. I want you to know. See, fuck all that. Fuck all that. And that's not really even the whole thing. They just afraid that they're going to be cut out of a wheel or something, or they're not going to get this gift or something. They're not going to get no opportunities. I'm telling you, they feel like their ass is going to be cut out of a fucking wheel if they don't get their shit together and apologize. Their opportunity to have an opportunity is going to be that's what the hell it is. That's why the hell this motherfucker is sad. Because now he realized he squandered his whole family life for nothing. Where he was supposed to have been, happy with you standing 10 toes down. He ain't getting a motherfucking thing. And he's sitting here thinking all the way in the past how you was always loving. You was always kind. This could have been one of your kids. Because we got the 6 of cups and we got a page of cups. This could have been one of your kids. Yes. Because like I said, he's seeing how he about to be left out of somebody's money, how he about to be left out of the wheel, how he about to be left out. He or she, take it however it resonates. It's not because they just decided all of a sudden, this and that and the other, this, I guess that wasn't right. No, they ain't thinking like that. They thinking, shit. I didn't know that if I can't get along with everybody, I don't get none of this wheel money. Which could be some real money. That's what they thinking about. They ain't thinking about you, your heart, how it affected you, how you went through your own personal struggles in life. They ain't thinking about how you were sad behind it, how it broke your heart, how you had to heal, how you may need to have some counseling, how you had to, give it up to God and everything else. And they ain't giving a shit about all that. They thinking about their pocket. Because see, had they really been thinking, they would have been able to see that they was dealing with a whole dark ass wench who was a witch, dark priestess. They would have seen that that's who the fuck they was dealing with. That was nobody that was on the good side. That was somebody that was there to bring them down. Who didn't think that you was going to be able to defend yourself against their own black magic. The fuck? They just didn't. And then on top of that, this motherfucker didn't even think that after all that shit that they sent out, they didn't think they was ever going to get caught. They didn't think they was going to have to serve no time. Whether that is in a physical jail, a spiritual jail, they didn't think they was going to have to serve any time whatsoever. Like they was just going to sit here and put all these burdens on you and they was going to be scot-free. They didn't think that shit was going to come back on them. They didn't think that people was going to be looking at them like, well, you know what, dude? Sis, that shit is kind of fucked up how you did that. They didn't think that they was going to be the ones that was going to have to be in that space for a while. And they're going to be in this space for a while. Mm-hmm. They didn't think that them being unable to stand 10 toes down or be loyal to you, that they was going to get caught up. They strung the fuck up. They didn't think that whenever they did this shit to you, that you was getting ready. And they, like I said, what they tried to do was they tried to end you. To end your happiness and the blessings that happened on you. for you, over you. They tried to do that. And they did that because they were sitting here following this old bitch, this witch. And then what's even worse than that, after they did whatever they did, her ass gonna sit back and see if the shit worked. This dumbass motherfucker. Yeah. The police then picked them up. And it's like, somebody acting like they don't want to talk about who they work with. Police said, okay, you're going to be charged with everything then. We're going to hold you accountable. But you about to learn a lesson here, little girl, little boy. You about to learn a motherfucking lesson if there was no lesson to ever be learned. Yep. Somebody, they realizing now whether they was bribed, whether they took some money, whatever, that was the worst thing they could have did. They was paid to take you out. Hey, lies never stuck. Hey, Tyree. They was paid to take you out. No, how far did that money get you? That's what I don't understand. People will sit there and accept, $1,000, $5,000. And I'm gonna give you $5,000 now, and then I'm gonna give you the other $5,000 after you done the damn job. Well, shit. How far does $10,000 actually get you? Pay your bills for 2 months, and then what you got left besides $37.18. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and everybody that they was working with, everybody that they was sitting there gossiping with, they were saying the most to when it all costs. Ain't nobody believing them anymore. Don't nobody want to work around that no more. Don't nobody want to be around that no more. Ain't nobody trying to hear they shit no more. No more. Because everybody's looking at you like, you know what? You was always a good parent. What are you talking about? You always did right by this person. God blessed you. This person said you was always their blessing. God this, God that. They sitting there telling this person how stupid that they was. Now somebody's sitting here thinking about everything. Like, how did they miss the blessing? Oh, all they had to do was act right, and they would have got this little piece of pocket change in the wheel. Yeah. Now somebody just wanna, like I said, they want to do right. They want to come to you and they want to say something to you because they want to put somebody else's mind at ease. Like, no, it's okay to keep me in the wheel. It's okay to keep me in the wheel. Honestly, I can still do that. I can still do the job. I can still make sure that I'm doing something right. But see, this emperor is looking at this person like, no, because you a fool. You a fool. You didn't stand 10 toes down for the person that was standing 10 toes down for you. I know I can't trust you with nothing. See, they didn't think about all that when they was doing they didn't do no research. They was just trying to be out here wilding and shit. Yeah. Somebody did not plan. They didn't plan, in advance. They didn't look into the distance. They didn't see what they should have seen. They didn't know what they thought that they knew. Because had they did any of that, they would have realized that you was a straight up earth angel. You was a chosen. You was part of the 144. That's whenever they wasn't as smart as they thought that they was. Hey, straight cheese. Yep. Now somebody's seeing that they should have held back from jumping on the bandwagon. They should have had some strength. They should have had some courage. Most of all, they should have looked for the truth. They should have asked for the truth. That way, they would have got their wish fulfillment. They would have had their wishes fulfilled because they would have been with you. They would have been happy. They wouldn't have had to worry about no damn lies because they would have used their discernment, and judgment would have been called on them in a good light because they said no to the fucking lies and yes to you, to healing, to the earth angel, to the star seed. But you know what I'm saying? You cannot fix dumb. You can't. You can't fix dumb. You can't fix stupidity. You can't even fix ignorance. No matter how much you try and talk to somebody, you can't do it. It's up to that person to do it. It is up to that person to refuse to be misled or easily led. It's up to that person to not be no fucking sucker. Don't be a fucking sucker. Because this person is shocked. It's them that's going to be on the outside looking in. They shocked that they ain't getting a motherfucking thing. They're not getting a damn thing. And they expected it all. But now they see, because they couldn't look at nothing no different besides the way that they should have looked at something different. They should have surrendered. They should have did their best. They should have held you. They should have, you know what? Like I said, this could be one of your kids. They should have given you the respect of being their mother and them being your son. Instead of sitting here trying to take you out. All because some old ass wrinkled up fish smelling witch talking about some trying to get in the middle of y'all shit. Like, if you don't take your little weak ass dick on somewhere, seriously, what's the message, Spirit? Yeah, but you get what you pay for. That's what you wanted. That's what you're getting. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Yeah, somebody is shocked that they on the outside looking in. It's like, you know, we got the 3 of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the 7 of Swords all upside down. Like, yeah, like somebody realized that, you know what? The same group that was like, we got your back, they ain't nowhere to be found now. The same woman that was like, I love you as if you my own child. They see now that this was just somebody that was money hungry, greedy, stingy. And now all the lies is out. All the lies is out. All the lies are being seen. Yes, you cannot make this up. Now somebody having regrets like, damn, how come I couldn't see that this was a test from God? Now I got to go in front of God and explain why I was acting like some old goofy little asshole. Bottom of the deck. The whole time you protected. Goofy little asshole didn't realize that not only was you protected, you had already won the war, boo. There was nothing left to fight, knucklehead. This whole time, somebody, all they had to do was be loyal. But no, they was bribed to do something to you. They was bribed to come in and cause some type of calamity, some type of chaos. But now somebody realizing they should have just held the fuck back. They should have said, nah, I ain't going to do all that shit. But see, like I said, and this witch, she knows something coming in for her. She knows something coming in for her because she was thinking that she was waiting to see if her little magic took effect on you. Not at all. You could have possibly moved. You wasn't looking worried. You wasn't looking stressed. You move, but things happen faster than you, sooner than what that person thought about. And now somebody's sitting here looking all stupid, wondering why the wheel of fortune is not turning in their favor. Because they made plans to come up against a whole earth angel, a star seed. Like I said, this emperor, this person with the money, they sitting here and they told somebody they changing their mind. They are changing their mind. It could have been that somebody was the executor of the wheel, but they changing their mind because they said, no, look what you was doing again. This is your mother or something like that. And like I said, somebody now, they are in deep regret. They in regret. They praying that they can be forgiven, that somebody don't hold them accountable for some shit that they need to be held accountable for. Hey, Miss Christy, how are you? The whole time you was doing nothing but blessing this person, giving them love, standing 10 toes down. This was a committed relationship here. This is somebody that should have had your back, you know? And they know the truth. They know who you are. They know who you are. There is no mistaking who you are. But like I said, somebody just wasn't happy. Somebody was trying to get in the middle of y'all shit. We're just going to pull a couple of these. Somebody was trying to get in the middle of your shit. 2 is company, 3 is a crowd, motherfucker. You ain't never heard that shit? That means if you got a relationship with somebody, that's your relationship. You can't let somebody tell you, oh, don't like them or don't do this. I wouldn't do that with them if I was you. I wouldn't do that if I was you. Tell them to shut the fuck up and get the fuck out of the middle of your shit. At least if you make a mistake, that's your mistake. That ain't you listening to somebody else. It's clear now. Somebody understands. They have a full understand. They grasping this bit of knowledge now. Full understanding about what the fuck they was doing. And see, you know, somebody thought that whatever they thought something was gonna come in, whatever they planned, they was making plans thinking that the shit was gonna come in. They was expecting something that somebody had already put into place. They was expecting this shit to work. But see, somebody is looking at you differently, like, no, I think I need to have this starseed doing this shit as far as executor of the wheel or whatever. That's the one who need to be working, who need to be doing something, because that other little motherfucker can't be trusted. That fucker will try and leave everybody out. I can't trust somebody. And that's the worst thing you could ever do. Be a follower. Because then everybody else will know that you cannot be trusted. They're going to feel like somebody got some type of power over you. You are easily led, easily misled, easily guided. You a fucking follower. What's the message, Spirit? What's the message? Yep, a fucking follower. What's the message? Thank you. Anything else, Spirit? Yeah. Somebody is getting karma. Somebody is being made to answer some questions. I feel like you're going to get some type of invitation. You're going to get some type of like I said, where somebody's asking you, hey, I want you to do me this favor. I want to name you as this, and the other person is sitting here like, damn, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think this all the way through. All they had to do was walk away from that deceit, walk away from the person who was trying to fuck them up, trying to deceive you. That's all they had to do. All they had to do was be a leader, to respect that, what, you would already broke a curse, and you would already put things into perspective, and the plan for them and the place for them. You had already been there for them. And then all they had to see was you was always going to be protected from Miss Maybelline's black ass magic. You didn't have to do nothing. You was always protected. That's why whenever somebody was trying to do some shit, and they sitting here looking to see if it was working. Is it working? Is it working? Is it working? This shit didn't work. Somebody feels stupid. As they should. Because you're the only one that rose. This is the perfect day. They see you have risen. You have risen. Jumping up like, dusting yourself off. Ooh, something tried to take me down, but it wasn't going to work today. No, not today, not tomorrow, none of these days. Let's go ahead and swing the pendulum. Think of your question. Don't forget next. Oh, let me show you. So all of the gifts aren't here yet. I'm waiting on something else, but I have 3 bracelets that I made. So here's one, and this is blue. I can't remember what it's called, but here's one. Here's another one. This one is made with brown's tiger eye and red tiger eye. Here's another one made with black obsidian, and it's got these little 2 of these, like these little dice on there. I made this one for red violet. And it's got like a little butterfly. And then this other gift is, let me open this up. Good Lord. Ugh. Oh, they got this sucker closed. There it is. Comes in this little bag. Hey, Jasmine. And yeah, it's supposed to be for money, wealth. It's like these Chinese coins. I don't read Chinese, but this is what it says, in case anybody else does. So, and then like I said, I'm waiting for one more to come in the mail. But we will start this next week. All right. All right, so let's go ahead and swing the pendulum. See what the message that Spirit has, or what the answer is. It yes, no, maybe, whatever. Put that back in there. All right. Okay, so think of your question. Think of your question. Looks like the answer is no. Looks like the answer is a no. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much for hanging out with me. I love you all. I love you all. And let me see. Hold on. Jesky, thank you so very much for your generous donation. I appreciate you. And I appreciate everyone. All right, y'all. I may be back a little bit later. Okay? All right. Bye now.